My name is Alex Ramirez, and I consider myself an ambassador for our great city of New Orleans. I was born and raised in this city. I went to Edna Carr. I went to Benjamin Franklin's high school. So I've been here a long time. This is my city, and I feel like I should have the ability to share my city.
I'm originally from Colombia.
I am from Guatemala City. I came to the United States in about 1980.
The Marriott was like a career. We worked there for 28 years. I met my husband there, Carlos. We start saving and we got married, and then we have Alex.
One of my major motivations has always seen how hard my parents worked, so I've always felt that I owed it to them to be able to make something of myself. I decided to buy a property in a neighborhood that was essentially abandoned aside from a handful of folks. My friends thought I was crazy, but I bought my first double with the FHA loan. I lived on one side and then had a long-term tenant on the other. What I then wanted to do was buy the abandoned property next door. I researched the owner of that property and realized that they were living in Houston. I sent letters on a weekly basis. After 2 years, I was able to purchase that property. With the help of family and friends, I was able to raise enough money to be able to fix up that property.
When Alex came and invested in this area, that's when I really seen the change, when he started planting flowers around and, walking the neighborhood, seeing, how it is, and he even asked me, do I have an idea of what's going on or how could I clean this place up, trying to get some input from me. But I was more than excited that he came through. And since he's been here, I have seen dramatically increased change, big time.
So I fixed up my second property, excited to be able to rent it out. Unfortunately, people wouldn't even show up once they drove by the neighborhood and realized that the blight that we were surrounded by. So it was really hard to nail down a long-term tenant. At this point, I looked at the short-term rental market as a solution, skeptical of what success I would have. But fortunately, people enjoyed the fact that I lived next door, that I was responsive, and guests enjoyed the authenticity of the experience.
He really changed it around. It was a mess. I mean, sometimes I used to come home and feel like I wanted to come in the block, pick up my house, and put it on my back and move it. That's how bad it was around here.
One of the positive feedbacks I get from my guests is that they like to experience living like a local. New Orleans is about authenticity. New Orleans is about the realness. The fact that they can actually go eat at places that they otherwise wouldn't have been exposed to, like Mandina's on Canal Street. Welcome to New Orleans. My wife, she actually produced this customized book. Since we live in the neighborhood, we're very familiar with all the great restaurants. We're a big believer in sort of taking our guests to the local neighborhood spots. So this is all the places that are walking distance from here, such as Trail, 12 Mile Limit, Ben McCool's, Ruby Slipper, Juan's Flying Burrito. Local businesses in our neighborhood are certainly benefiting from the visitors that come into our area. We want to be able to invest our tax dollars into the city. I'm from New Orleans and I love New Orleans, and the character of the neighbors of New Orleans is very important to me. Most hosts have a tremendous love and compassion for their neighborhoods. We're not here to try and destroy them. We need to find a balance that's sustainable. I want people to understand that we don't want a free-for-all without any regulation or taxation. We want to be regulated.
I'm very thankful for the opportunity to create a family business.
As a homeowner for 20 years, it seemed like a dream, but it's real that the neighborhood really have changed for the better. And with all the infrastructure coming around because of the things that Alex and his father and them brought into the neighborhood.
The overwhelming majority of hosts, we love our city. We care about our city. We want to share our city. We're on the same side. We want to respect our neighborhoods, and there's a happy medium. There's a way that we can do this in a responsible manner.